Fala Mogules.
We here at Bravo C Broadcast are big fans of the best mama in the series, Gilly. Gilly has been through so many crazy adventures that I'm sure she was never expecting, being born as one of Craster's daughters and eventually becoming one of his wives. When the Night's Watch came through Craster's keep, Gilly by chance met Sam, and it was fate. Gilly asked him to save her, and though Sam wanted to, his vows prevented him from doing that. Gilly was quite pregnant, and when the Night's Watch returned to the keep after being attacked at the Fist of the First Men, Gilly gives birth to a baby boy. Gilly tells Sam they will kill her son if she doesn't escape. At this point, there is a mutiny from the other Black brothers, who kill Craster and Lord Commander Mormont. Sam knows he is Craven, but he also knows they will kill him, Gilly's baby, and probably rape Gilly, so he musters up his strength and courage, and the two escape with their tiny newborn baby and make their way to Castle Black. Sam and Gilly are a pair now. In the show, Sam struggled to keep Gilly safe at the wall from the other brothers, so he sends her to Molestown for a time until it is attacked by wildlings. Gilly makes her way back to Sam and says she and baby Sam aren't leaving him again. "Wherever you go, I go," that's what she said. Once the wildlings attack Castle Black and Mance Rayder is taken prisoner, John makes the decision to send Sam and Gilly to Old Town for Sam to become the new maester. John switches Gilly's baby with Mance's baby for the trip, thinking he is sending away the baby with king's blood from Melisandre, who often mentions sacrifices. Gilly is of course heartbroken and cries the whole trip. If you haven't watched our Baby Sam video, it is linked below and we recommend it. We believe that Craster and his wives and children are the descendants of Joramun, the king beyond the wall during the first long night. We believe the horn of Joramun passed through the female line of Joramun, which is why the daughters become wives. North of the wall, women are more empowered and valued. However, if this is true, baby Sam is the child with king's blood, not Mance Rayder's, so the baby switch was all for naught, really. Sam and Gilly make it to Old Town, and that's where we are left in the books. In the show, there is no baby swap, and they stop at Horn Hill to visit Sam's family, and he plans to leave Gilly and baby Sam there to raise him right. But of course, Sam's father, Randall Tarley, figures out that Gilly is from north of the wall. He is quite rude and racist to her and says she can work in the kitchens and baby Sam will be raised there. Sam decides that he cannot leave her there with him. Randall is just such a dick. So he takes his family to Old Town with him, but not before stealing Heartsbane, their family Valyrian steel stored. In Old Town, we see Gilly studying with Sam, which is very frowned upon for women in the Citadel. Gilly is learning to read and write, and even caught the bit about Prince Rhaegar getting a marriage annulled and remarried. Maynard says here that he issued an annulment for a Prince Rhaegar and remarried him to someone else at the same time in a secret ceremony in Dorne. Eventually, Sam gets fed up and they leave the Citadel, knowing they would be much more help in the north. They steal a few important books and head north to Winterfell, where Sam and Bran figure out who Jon's parents truly are, Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. Sam tells Jon in episode 1 of season 8, and he has been struggling with the information since. We also find out in episode 4 that Gilly is pregnant with a new little Tarly baby, and they want to name him Jon if it's a boy. To which Jon gives the rudest response, it must be mentioned, "What is with his cold, dead heart?" Queen Daenerys burned Randall and Dickon Tarly at the loot train attack in season 7. When Sam finds out, he is quite heartbroken, mostly about his brother Dickon dying. What does this mean for Sam? On a normal day, Sam would become the Lord of Horn Hill after his father's death. Dickon was actually the younger son, but Sam was disinherited by his father and sent to the Wall. Sam took his vows, which would make him a brother of the Night's Watch for life. He also went to the Citadel to become a maester, another position that would require him to give up his lands and titles. All in all, Sam is a pretty decent guy that I believe will stick to his vows, which would leave baby Sam as the heir to Horn Hill. Sam also has the Horn of Winter, so I believe this will go to his son, very fitting for the Horn of Joramun to fall back into the hands of his descendants and for baby Sam's new home, Horn Hill. We are given the history of Horn Hill in the World of Ice and Fire. Harlon the Hunter and Herndon of the Horn, twin brothers who built their castle atop Horn Hill and took to wife the beautiful woods witch who dwelt there, sharing in her favors for 100 years, for the brothers did not age so long as they embraced her whenever the moon was full. The brothers are sons of Garth Greenhand, the father of the realm. We don't have more details than this small excerpt, but we can actually glean quite a bit from it. Two brothers, one a hunter and one with a horn, living in a castle, and take to wife a beautiful woods witch who lived there. We might equate baby Sam to Herndon, as he will have the horn. What if we could place the new baby in the position of Harlon the Hunter? House Tarley's sigil is a striding huntsman on a green field. If baby Sam is associated with the horn, we might say that Samwell's new trueborn son might be associated with the hunter of their house sigil. Samwell will always recognize baby Sam as his own, but the two brothers fit very well into this mold of how their house was created. Could Gilly fit into the position of the beautiful woods witch? I think we might be able to fit her into this position. Now it is a bit effed up because the legend states that the brothers never aged for 100 years as long as they embraced the witch when the moon was full. However, it has been family tradition with Craster's daughters to become his wives, so incest isn't unfamiliar to Gilly. In fact, it's basically her entire genetic makeup. Craster basically practices Targaryen breeding rituals to keep the bloodlines pure, so let's not judge too hard because we've been well exposed to it throughout the series. Gilly is still Craster's daughter. She is still of that bloodline. They have a practice in place, though she was born into it and not really given a choice. To her, it has been pretty normal to sleep with and marry your father/brother. All of Craster's sons are also Gilly's brothers. Perhaps we could make this a bit more innocent by examining a couple of definitions. Embrace is defined as to hold someone close in one's arms, especially as a sign of affection. So we don't necessarily have to take it to an incesty place. Perhaps they just need a hug and smooch from mom every year. Interestingly, gillyflowers are associated with luck, wealth, happiness, and a long-lived life. So perhaps there is some aspect of their bloodline that will offer long life that's hinted at through her name. I think we might see Gilly fitting into the woods witch mold, especially once the other locals learn that she is from north of the Wall. People from the south view the wildlings as savages, rapers, and raiders. As Samwell's wife, I could see the locals of Horn Hill whispering of the woods witch that married the lord and her sons rule the castle. As far as the brothers never aging as long as they embraced the woods witch, we do have to question the longevity of baby Sam's life. We still don't have any answers to what Craster's sons were useful for other than being generals, but that doesn't explain the Wither-2s and Y-4s. Do they have an unnatural long life? When they were turned by the Night King, obviously their longevity was out of the question. We also don't know if it was only Craster who has been giving his sons to the Night King, or if previous descendants of the family were also making similar sacrifices. There is mention of Craster giving 99 sons to the Night King, and baby Sam would have been 100, but we only saw 12 or 13 in the show. 100 Sons would take some time to produce, even with several sister wives. We don't know if Craster's sons are inherently any different than a normal person, or if their power was strictly provided through the Night King, but perhaps there may be a bit of magic in the bloodline that could cause long life. Would they have to continue the family tradition of partnering with the female descendants of the line? It is a very interesting concept to consider with the new information of Gilly's pregnancy in episode 4. We had our suspicions. Gilly was looking a little thick, not that she wasn't still amazingly beautiful, and we can appreciate a thick girl as much as the next Harley, so more power to you, Gillyflower. We are quite thrilled to learn that she will usher in the new generation of people after the long night, and it is particularly ironic that the newest baby would be a continuation of the infamous Craster line after the decimation of the last of his line. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Look out for us on Living My Rhapsody's channel and Johnny Be Crazy's channel for show discussions, and as always, subscribe to Geek Chat 1 on YouTube and Facebook for all the best geeky fun. Valor Margulis.